If you think the Dutch are just another branch of the Germanic family tree, you might want to think again. Beneath the windmills, canals, and tulip fields lies one of the most mysterious genetic stories in all of Europe. A story that rewrites everything we thought we knew about the people of the Netherlands. Welcome to Hidden Past, the channel where we dive deep into genetics, ancestry, and the hidden stories written in our DNA. Today, we're exploring one of Europe's most mysterious genomes, the Dutch. For decades, population studies portrayed the Dutch as a single homogeneous community, shaped by geography and shared language. But when geneticists began sequencing thousands of DNA samples from across the Netherlands, the results were nothing short of astonishing. The Dutch were not a single homogeneous people. They were a living mosaic, a population whose DNA carried echoes of Ice Age hunters, early farmers, seafaring traders, and even distant steppe warriors. What made the findings so mysterious wasn't just the diversity, it was how that diversity had persisted. In a land that had seen centuries of invasion, empire, and upheaval, the Dutch genome remained astonishingly stable. It was as if the population had absorbed waves of newcomers without ever losing its core identity. So who are the Dutch, really? Where did their ancestors come from? And how did they manage to preserve such ancient roots in one of Europe's most contested landscapes? The answer begins not with the Dutch themselves, but with the first humans and pre-humans who dared to call these marshy lowlands home. Long before modern humans set foot in the Netherlands, Neanderthals roamed the icy river valleys and marshlands of the region. Archaeological discoveries, like the famous Krijn skull dredged from the North Sea, revealed that these ancient humans were not just passing through. They established communities, crafted tools, and adapted to a harsh, shifting environment. Modern Dutch DNA carries roughly 2% Neanderthal ancestry, consistent with other Europeans. But this small percentage hides a remarkable story. The specific Neanderthal lineages found in Dutch genomes can be traced to local populations who lived and interbred in what is now the Netherlands. The land itself was a corridor during the Ice Age, a place where migrating populations repeatedly intersected, mixing and leaving behind genetic traces that endure today. These early encounters between Neanderthals and modern humans were not random. They set the stage for a genetic continuity that would become a hallmark of Dutch ancestry, a pattern of survival and adaptation that would echo for tens of thousands of years. Around 40,000 years ago, anatomically modern humans arrived in Europe, bringing new technologies and hunting strategies. In the river valleys and coastal zones of the Netherlands, these Paleolithic people left clear traces of their presence. Their DNA, belonging primarily to mitochondrial haplogroups U5 and U2, and Y chromosome lineages like I2, reflects the European hunter-gatherer heritage. Yet when geneticists analyzed contemporary Dutch DNA, they found something puzzling. The lineages of these earliest settlers were barely present. Instead, the dominant signals came from later populations. How had the original inhabitants nearly vanished genetically, while their culture and knowledge left lasting impacts on the newcomers? The answer lies in the subtle transformations of the Neolithic era, a period that would see a remarkable synthesis of hunter-gatherer traditions and incoming agricultural practices. Between 5,300 and 3,400 BC, the Swifterbant culture emerged as one of Northern Europe's most innovative communities. These were not mere survivors, they were masters of wetland environments. Fishing, fowling, hunting, and seasonal agriculture allowed them to thrive in challenging landscapes that would have deterred outsiders. Genetic studies reveal extraordinary diversity within this population. Some individuals carried mostly hunter-gatherer ancestry, while others had already begun integrating farmer-related lineages. This was not a chaotic mixing, but a deliberate process of cultural and genetic synthesis, producing a population uniquely adapted to the Dutch environment. The Swifterbant people experimented with early plant cultivation and animal domestication, pioneering agricultural methods independently of Anatolian farmers. Their mitochondrial DNA included U5,
U4 and H lineages, while Y chromosomes were dominated by I2, a lineage that would echo through Dutch genetics for millennia. Around 5300 BC, Neolithic farmers arrived from the southeast, bringing crops, livestock, and revolutionary technologies. Contrary to popular assumptions, this was not a violent conquest. Instead, the incoming populations gradually integrated with local hunter-gatherers, creating a new hybrid society. DNA evidence shows remarkable heterogeneity in these early Neolithic communities. Some individuals were nearly 70% hunter-gatherer, while others carried only traces. Farmers brought mitochondrial haplogroups N1A, T2, H, and K, and Y chromosome lineages G2A and J2, contributing to the Dutch genetic mosaic. The integration was mutual. Farmers adapted their practices to the unique wetland landscapes, learning from local knowledge about fishing, seasonal cycles, and resource management. The result was an unprecedented cultural and genetic synthesis that laid the foundation for Dutch prehistory.
By 2500 BCE, new populations arrived in the Netherlands as part of the Beaker phenomenon. These people brought metallurgy, advanced technologies, and Indo-European languages. Their DNA, especially Y chromosome R1b U106, became dominant in the region, but integration rather than replacement defined the process. The Beaker transformation combined steppe ancestry with local traditions, creating hybrid populations that balanced innovation with continuity. The Netherlands became a hub of trade, maritime skill, and technological advancement, while maintaining deep-rooted genetic signatures of previous inhabitants. During the Iron Age, the genetic structure established by Bronze Age populations gave rise to Germanic tribes like the Frisians, Batavians, and Canaanophates. Y chromosome lineages R1b U106 and I1 dominated, reflecting a stable, locally rooted population. Roman occupation brought Mediterranean DNA, including E1b1b and J2, but only minimally impacted the broader population. Later, the Franks consolidated regional territories, blending closely related populations rather than replacing them. Viking contacts added Scandinavian haplogroups, but again, the influence was gradual and region-specific. Across centuries of cultural upheaval, the Dutch genome remained remarkably resilient, preserving ancient lineages while selectively integrating new influences. During the 16th and 17th centuries, the Netherlands experienced Spanish occupation. Despite the political and military presence, genetic impact was minimal. Spanish settlers formed a small elite with limited intermarriage, leaving the underlying Dutch genetic structure intact. This pattern of elite dominance without population replacement had occurred throughout Dutch history, from Romans to Vikings, reinforcing a unique feature of Dutch ancestry: deep-rooted continuity in the face of foreign rule. Today, comprehensive genetic studies paint a detailed picture of Dutch ancestry. The most prevalent Y chromosome haplogroups are R1b, 53.5%, and I1, 18.5%, while mitochondrial DNA includes H, 45%, U, 16%, T, 14%, J, 11%, and K, 10%. This data reveals a population that is both ancient and resilient. The Dutch are the descendants of hunters, farmers, and seafarers who adapted to one of Europe's most challenging landscapes. They absorbed newcomers without losing their identity and created a genetic continuity that spans thousands of years, a living testament to endurance and adaptation. The Dutch genetic story is remarkable not for invasions or upheaval, but for persistence. From Neanderthal encounters to modern nationhood, the people of the Netherlands have maintained a consistent genetic identity, absorbing new influences while preserving ancient roots. In the end, the mystery of Dutch origins is not about who replaced whom or where people came from. It is about how a population survived, adapted, and thrived over millennia.
and it reminds us that the story encoded in our DNA is often far richer, far stranger, and far more resilient than history books alone can tell.